Hello, and welcome to another episode of Attacking Third, CBS Sports Soccer Podcast. I'm Sandra Herrera, lead NWSL writer for CBS Sports, joined today, as always, by my colleague and co-host, Lisa Roman, broadcaster and analyst. On today's episode, we have a special guest interview today. A quick reminder to subscribe to us on YouTube for exclusive interviews and whenever we go live at youtube.com/attackingthird. Today, we're joined by two-time Olympic gold medalist, two-time FIFA Women's World Cup champion, and former U.S. Women's National Team superstar, Carli Lloyd. Welcome back to the show. Carli, how you doing?
Good. I feel like I've talked to you guys quite a bit in my retirement days here.
Yeah, we were just chatting a little bit about that as well. Because last time we had you on, you were preparing for retirement. So how is post career life treating you?
It's going really well. I came up on for club I retired I think the second week of November. So approaching that 1 year mark for Gotham FC. And yeah, it's been really good. I feel like I've done 5 years worth of things in this last year, and just very, very grateful for all the opportunities that I continue to have. I'm still staying involved in the game, and I'm getting to kind of pick and choose what I want to do, and getting a lot of quality time with my husband, family, friends. So I honestly have no complaints.
Wow, that is so great to hear. You sounds like you're living the life, and I'm glad that you are, because you deserve it. But you are staying very involved in the game, the men's game, the women's game, and we are right around the corner from the Men's World Cup. And ahead of that, you partnered with Visa to create digital artwork of your iconic goal at the 2015 Women's World Cup in Canada. This artwork is going to be auctioned off. Tell us a little bit about this partnership and everything around it.
Yeah, so this is something that's different and unique than some of the other things that I've gotten involved in, especially now kind of being able to get involved in the men's game. I obviously have more time to do things, and when this opportunity came out, I was thrilled because we're just seeing obviously a huge rise in NFTs, and this was amazing, just to kind of have my iconic goal against Japan put into artwork, and I could kind of see how that all came together. But super proud and thrilled to be part of Visa's Master of Movement campaign. There's 5 other legendary footballers that are, transforming the iconic goals into these abstract NFTs. And they're going to be auctioned off, like you said, at crypto.com. And I think one of the things that I love is that the proceeds are benefiting Street Child United, which is, something that's near and dear to me, because I was sort of a street baller kid that grew up, maybe not on the streets, but just grew up playing pickup soccer. And so this is a global movement that essentially tackles the widespread stigma street connected children face, and just benefiting the children. So I think that's one of the reasons why I was just super thrilled to come on board, is that all the proceeds are going to be going to Street Child United. And right now it's live through till the 8th. So you can own one of these iconic pieces of art, which I think is cool. And it's not over on November 8th either. Fans traveling to Qatar are able to have a chance to create their own artwork as well. So yeah, it's a really cool movement and campaign to be part of.
It was a really interesting component with the proceeds benefit, and that being Street Child United. Is that something that you're looking to do more of in post retirement? Why did you choose, like, are you looking to choose to spotlight social impact initiatives a little bit more in your post professional career?
Yeah, I think that, things have to feel authentic to me. I've always, tried to live the most authentic lifestyle, both on and off the field, throughout my career. And it's no different in this retirement phase. So for me, just connecting to children, inspiring the next generations, and really just giving opportunities to some of these children that, don't have the opportunities that I may have had, and a ton of other people along the way. So it's just making a positive impact on communities. And yeah, it's something that's important to me. I run my own clinics, and so I kind of tackle, that bit for the next generations. But I just see, what it does to help change these kids, and just has such a positive influence on all of them.
This is a partnership with the Men's World Cup, and that's around the tournament kicking off November 20th. But most recently, Carli, you were also involved with the Women's World Cup draw for the 2023 World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. USA in Group G with Netherlands, Vietnam, and one other nation still to be determined. As a former U.S. international, I've got to ask, how does this Group G fare for the U.S.?
I think everyone always kind of wants to, try to figure out, what type of group is this? Is this the group of death? Is this a good group that we've drawn? The thing with women's football now is you can't take any group lightly. No group is an easy group anymore. And, you're seeing, obviously the game continue to grow, and you're seeing these African nations who are doing really well. You had, Nigeria at the U17 World Cup that, just almost squeaked in, doing very well there. And so I think, Netherlands is going to be a good test, good challenge. Obviously the team that they're waiting to play as well, could be Portugal. I mean, they could be tough as well. So while I think it's, a good group, it's still a long way to go to get to a final. So you never know what's going to happen. You obviously have to take care of your group first, one game at a time. But as we all know, World Cups, they start and end very differently. And it's going to be interesting to kind of see these next 9-10 months to see who's going to be lifting that trophy.
We're under a year now of this 2023 World Cup. It's no longer talking about it like a year from now or 2 years from now. We're definitely under the year mark. And watching that event, well, yeah, for Lisa and I, we were way up early trying to take that all in for Attacking Third to cover it here. But we saw you participate in it, and a ton of other Wonder Footballing folks participate in that as well. And it really sort of felt like the beginning of something. It just sort of really felt like, okay, not like, yes, this is the 2023 World Cup is going to arrive sooner than we know. For you, what was it like participating in that event for you? Because there was a lot of really, really cool things that were highlighting, Australian and New Zealand cultures, and sort of being able to, calling out the names one by one. Was it something that you would like to participate in future draws? And would just love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, it's it was an honor to be co-conducting alongside of Amanda Davies. She's fantastic. She did an amazing job. And we had 6 rehearsals prior to the live show. So imagine doing
That's a lot.
6 different times until you actually get to do the real show. There was only so many different ways I could ask the legends to my right to please draw the next team out. So it was a big production. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. As a player, I never knew that. You're just watching the draw and you're thinking, okay, just cut to the chase. We want to see who we're playing. But the culture within New Zealand and Australia and New Zealand being able to co-host, it's amazing. I think that's what I love the most, about what football gave me throughout the years. Is you go to different countries, you meet different people, you get immersed in the different cultures, and you learn a whole lot about all these other countries. And so that for me was pretty incredible. I think it's going to be the biggest and best World Cup. I've been saying it over and over again. So many people have been saying it as well. And it's a testament to how far the game has come. My first World Cup in 2007 in China, you didn't even know there was a World Cup being played there. We played around tracks, and so each World Cup 4 years later just continues to get better and better. There's obviously a lot more investment and support around the globe with all these teams and countries. So it's going to be incredibly exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be the hardest one to win yet. So yeah, we'll see. I'm anxiously awaiting just as much as everyone else is.
So it is here. Like the World Cup is here because of the draw. I want to touch back into your last World Cup, the World Cup in 2019. Now that this current team knows who's in their group, knows who their first nations of competition are, how does that change preparations ahead of 2019? Once the US found out their group, how does that change individual preparations for the World Cup?
I think from an individual standpoint, from a player standpoint, it's not as, you know, it's more for the coaching staff and technical staff. I would say. Obviously, they've got to get the game plans in place. They pull their statistics. You know, they're figuring out ways that they're going to be wanting the teams to play against certain teams. So from an individual standpoint, you know, you're doing the same thing. You're trying to continue to get better as a player, continue to get more fit. And, you know, you obviously don't want to get injured. But that's part of it. But yeah, this is when, you know, the stage is set and, you know, who you're facing. You know, I know, after, you know, seeing Blacko and a lot of other people from US Soccer, it was, you know, it was now they could start really preparing. So it's yeah, it's really exciting, and you know, it was great to be part of the draw. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, you kind of pinch yourself that I was playing in 4 prior to this, and then now, you know, co-hosting the draw and just, you know, viewing it from a different perspective now.
Speaking of big events, we're on the heels of an NWSL Championship. Portland Thorns lifting the trophy for a 3rd time after a 2-0 win over Kansas City. And you know, the entire event weekend was a real celebration. It was largely attended in the nation's capital. Saturday night game, network CBS. These were all things that people were buzzing about in terms of the NWSL Championship. What did you think about the match overall in terms of not just the quality of soccer that we got to see, but in terms of this really being like an event?
Yeah, well, I'll have to disclose that I was flip-flopping a little bit between the Phillies game and the NWSL final. I'm an avid Philadelphia sports fan, so very I was supposed to go to the Phillies game last night, got there, and then ended up being canceled. So I'll be going tonight and Thursday, I think, as well. But I had my iPad kind of sitting down as I was watching the Phillies game. You know, to me, it looked like a completely different NWSL final. I mean, there were the awards that were given out. It looked like there was a dinner. They acknowledged the players that had been playing in the NWSL for 10 years. You know, that's how it should be. And the game itself, you know, I would say that, you know, obviously Kansas City was a bit of the underdog. I would have liked to have seen them come out a bit stronger. They seemed to, I don't know, maybe nerves got the best of them. Just, you know, didn't seem as confident in their capability of what they could do, but tremendous amount of respect, you know, for what they did from start to finish. You know, no one predicted they would be there in the final, and that just goes to show you the room for growth that they have, especially with some of their players missing out on injuries. Portland, you know, what can you say? They got the job done and victorious again. You know, I think this is a different Portland team that you're seeing. Sophia Smith is just, you know, she's killing it. It's good to see, you know, Sam Coffey doing well, and yeah, the whole scene just had a different vibe. You know, great to be on prime time for CBS as well. So overall, hopefully it continues. You know, this is what all the players deserve, and yeah, it was great to be able to watch, and especially, you know, seeing it being played in DC as well.
There was a lot of pomp and circumstance around it, and so well deserved. Carli, you just mentioned her, Sophia Smith, forward for Portland Thorns. She was the NWSL MVP this year, also the championship MVP, and she's on the US team. You've played with her, you've played against her. This 22-year-old, what is the ceiling for a player like Sophia Smith?
Well, I've gotten to know Sophia pretty well towards the end of my career, and I just feel like she's been a different younger player. She's someone who is a sponge. She would pick my brain about some things. You could tell that her wheels were spinning internally, just listening, soaking up information. And I just tried to be honest with her and tell her, you've got to work hard and you can never settle. That's the thing. People don't understand how hard it is to be in that environment. Every single day you have to prove yourself, and it's probably why I feel a lot more relaxed and a bit happier, because it's a very, very stressful environment, to constantly have to prove yourself, to constantly have to be at the top of your game, and the pressure that comes with that. And so I think the biggest thing for her is, the sky's the limit. She can continue to get better. She can continue to evolve in so many different levels. The thing is she's now setting the bar for herself. And so now the expectations coming with that, everyone's going to want to see Sophia Smith scoring goals. They're going to want to see her doing well. So she has to continue to keep that foot on the pedal, never get complacent, never get comfortable. And she can enjoy this moment and this celebration, the MVP, but you quickly have to turn your attention onto what's next, because the moment you get comfortable, something will just come and hit you and try to knock you down. So I'm really excited for her. She's not only a great player, but she's a great person, and very, very thrilled to see her continuing to succeed.
Yeah, us too. She's been putting up some pretty big highlight type moments for us to cover here on A3. We don't want to keep you too much longer, Carli, but we, as you know, towards the end of interviews, we like to have a little bit of fun with our guests. So just want to ask you another post-retirement question before we close out. What's maybe a thing that you now have a little bit more time for post-playing that perhaps you didn't have before when you were an active player?
Oh, well, I think everybody kind of knows I've been really working on my golf game. It's probably one of the hardest sports that I've ever attempted to play. And it's pretty crazy that a ball that's just still is incredibly difficult to hit. But I'm having fun with that. I think that life has obviously changed for me. Working out is a little bit different. I didn't think that I was going to struggle with running and all that, but I don't have to run anymore. I run to stay fit and healthy, and it makes me feel good, but it's different when I don't really have a goal in place. And so golf has, kind of taken up a new challenge for me. So that, and honestly, just waking up every day, and just kind of having a different week. Some weeks I don't have much going on. Some weeks I'm pretty busy with various things, but just having the time and flexibility to honestly live life to the fullest, and just very grateful that I have the opportunity to do that right now.
So no more running. I hope you're not running the beep test anymore, right? Like that's behind you.
I would not choose to run the beep test. I'm still doing some long runs, doing some 800s, some 400s. Other than that, no sprints, trying to do some strength workout here and there. But my goal is a body in motion stays in motion. And the moment that I stop, you don't feel great. So I'm just gonna, even if it's 3 days a week, 4 days a week, I'm just trying. And when I go out and golf, I usually walk. So that's kind of a nice little bit of exercise.
That's fantastic. Well, I love that you're headed to the Phillies tonight, tomorrow as well. Go Phils, go Fightins.
Yes, got to get it done.
Gotta close on that. I'm rooting for my friend, so of course I want the Phils to win for Lisa's sake, so we could chat all about it even more on Attacking Third. Carli Lloyd, thank you so much for joining us. Go Phils, everybody! You can download, follow, and subscribe to Attacking Third wherever you get your podcasts. We're also available as video on YouTube.com/Attacking Third, and we'll be back with more. For Sandra, Lisa, and Carli Lloyd, this was Attacking Third.